Elon Musk's perspective on the Ethiopian Bible is rooted in his conviction that challenging outdated paradigms is essential for progress, whether in the automotive industry, space exploration, artificial intelligence, or even our understanding of ancient texts. He views the exclusion of certain scriptures from mainstream Christianity as a deliberate act of knowledge suppression, one with profound implications for human consciousness that we are only beginning to grasp. For Musk, this suppression is not an isolated incident but part of a recurring historical pattern where powerful institutions have controlled the flow of information to maintain ideological dominance. Consider the destruction of the Library of Alexandria or the censorship of groundbreaking scientific discoveries throughout history. These events echo the sidelining of the Ethiopian Bible. Musk argues that its rich repository of alternative narratives was deliberately marginalized to uphold theological and political control over populations. If such knowledge has been intentionally hidden, he contends, it raises urgent questions. What else might humanity be missing? In interviews, Musk has speculated about lost histories, suggesting that ancient texts like the Ethiopian Bible could hold clues to forgotten technologies, advanced civilizations, and even sciences long erased from collective memory. One aspect that fascinates Musk is the Ethiopian Bible's depiction of cosmic warfare, celestial battles between divine forces, rebellions among heavenly beings, and struggles over forbidden wisdom. These accounts resonate deeply with modern concerns about artificial intelligence and technological ethics. Musk often warns of the dangers posed by AI surpassing human intelligence, likening it to Pandora's box. Once unleashed, knowledge cannot be contained. To him, the stories of the Watchers and their forbidden insights serve as cautionary tales about the perils of unchecked technological advancement, a lesson humanity risks repeating if it ignores the warnings embedded in these ancient writings. Beyond their religious significance, Musk believes these texts offer revolutionary perspectives on human origins. The Ethiopian Bible references ancient civilizations, lost lands, and non-human intelligences, themes that align intriguingly with speculative theories about Atlantis, prehistoric cultures, and even extraterrestrial contact. While mainstream historians dismiss such ideas as pseudoscience, Musk counters that outright rejection without investigation is itself unscientific. By engaging with these suppressed narratives, he suggests, we may uncover truths that challenge conventional understandings of history and human potential. Musk also finds value in the Ethiopian Bible's alternative timeline of history. Its reconstruction of biblical chronology and unique methods of measuring time intrigue him, leading him to speculate that ancient societies may have possessed a more sophisticated grasp of time, space, and consciousness than we currently acknowledge. If selective storytelling has shaped humanity's perception of history, revisiting suppressed texts like the Ethiopian Bible could be pivotal in unveiling hidden truths. For Musk, exploring the Ethiopian Bible transcends mere academic interest. It represents a bold challenge to how we conceptualize history, knowledge, and human potential. He draws parallels between the suppression of these ancient texts and the resistance faced by technological innovations today. Whether discussing space colonization, artificial intelligence, or the future of civilization, Musk consistently advocates questioning established norms and seeking knowledge beyond what is conventionally accepted. His engagement with the Ethiopian Bible reflects his broader mission to push humanity beyond perceived limits, believing that unlocking suppressed knowledge, be it ancient or modern, could yield transformative breakthroughs in science, spirituality, and evolution. Section 2: Unpacking the Roots of Controversy. To fully comprehend the controversy surrounding the Ethiopian Bible, Musk asserts, one must examine the colonial forces that sought to erase non-European Christian traditions. At the heart of this issue lies colonialism, not merely as a quest for land and resources but as a mechanism for controlling narratives, particularly those tied to religion and history. European empires imposed their interpretations of Christianity while marginalizing indigenous expressions of faith, erasing diverse theological perspectives in the process. Ethiopia stands out as a unique case in this global struggle. Unlike most African nations, Ethiopia avoided colonization, save for Italy's brief and brutal occupation during World War II. This relative independence allowed the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church to preserve a form of Christianity predating many Western theological developments. Central to this tradition is the inclusion of texts excluded from the European canon, texts Musk regards as invaluable repositories of historical insight. Yet this very distinctiveness made Ethiopia a target for dominant powers seeking to suppress any narrative that threatened their hegemony. In Musk's view, the survival of Ethiopia's biblical tradition underscores the resilience of suppressed knowledge and highlights the enduring consequences of colonial-era erasures. Revisiting these texts, he argues, is not just an exercise in rediscovery but a necessary step toward dismantling entrenched frameworks that limit our understanding of history and humanity's untapped potential. The mere existence of an alternative Christian tradition, one that flourished independently of Western influence, shattered the colonial narrative that Christianity was a European invention gifted to uncivilized peoples during the age of imperialism. This revelation disrupted the carefully constructed illusion of religious and cultural superiority perpetuated by colonial powers. Scholars and religious institutions, eager to uphold their hegemony, sought to delegitimize non-European Christian traditions by labeling them as heretical or unorthodox. The Ethiopian Bible, with its expanded canon and unique theological perspectives, stood in direct opposition to the Eurocentric version of Christianity that colonial forces aimed to impose globally. Western academics and theologians dismissed Ethiopian biblical traditions as relics of an outdated or misguided faith, subtly reinforcing the notion that true Christian doctrine could only be shaped by European hands. Musk argues that this erasure was no accident but part of a calculated strategy to centralize religious authority and control spiritual discourse. He draws striking parallels between this historical suppression and modern censorship, particularly in the digital age. Just as colonial powers manipulated information to maintain dominance, contemporary institutions, be they governments, corporations, or media conglomerates, curate and restrict knowledge to shape public perception. Alternative voices, whether rooted in ancient traditions or cutting-edge discoveries, are often ridiculed or silenced when they challenge mainstream narratives. Ethiopia's resistance to colonization played a pivotal role in preserving its rich biblical heritage. Had Ethiopia fallen under colonial rule like much of Africa, its sacred texts might have been reshaped, or erased entirely, as occurred in other regions. But because Ethiopia remained independent, its version of Christianity endured intact, though largely ignored by the Western world. Musk suggests that this oversight was not merely academic neglect but a deliberate choice by Western religious institutions to avoid legitimizing a text capable of undermining their authority. To acknowledge the Ethiopian Bible would force a re-evaluation of long-held doctrines, weakening the monopoly Western churches have maintained over biblical interpretation. One of the most controversial aspects of the Ethiopian Bible is its inclusion of the Book of Enoch, an ancient text that raises profound theological questions about divine beings, human destiny, and forbidden knowledge. If these accounts hold truth, then mainstream Christianity has omitted a critical chapter of humanity's spiritual history. If false, why did early Christians regard them as sacred? Musk sees this as evidence of a broader pattern where institutions selectively present history to reinforce their authority. By excluding such texts, religious leaders preserve doctrines easier to control and comprehend, shaping a simplified faith for the masses while potentially leaving it incomplete. For Musk, the Ethiopian Bible represents an unedited record of early Christianity, preserving details Western institutions found inconvenient or dangerous. It challenges not only theological foundations but also historical frameworks curated to serve the powerful. The exclusion of texts like the Book of Enoch was not merely theological but deeply political. Had they been widely accepted, they could have shifted the very bedrock of Christian theology, prompting believers to question doctrines long considered immutable. In many ways, Musk likens the Ethiopian Bible to his own ventures in technological disruption. Just as Tesla and SpaceX challenged entrenched industries, the Ethiopian Bible threatens to dismantle the established order of religious thought. Beyond colonialism and institutional power struggles, Musk believes the Ethiopian Bible carries even deeper implications. It challenges the foundational framework upon which Western Christianity rests. With its expansive vision of the divine, the Ethiopian canon presents a cosmos far more complex than the hierarchical model promoted by mainstream Christianity. For instance, the Book of Enoch describes a vast cosmic war among celestial entities, hinting at a multidimensional battleground rather than a singular deity overseeing creation. Musk finds this fascinating, as it resonates with modern discussions about artificial intelligence, advanced civilizations, and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. If the universe is as vast as we imagine, why wouldn't there be multiple players in the story of creation? Moreover, the Ethiopian Bible compels us to reconsider humanity's place in the cosmos. If the Book of Enoch is taken seriously, it implies that humans may have been influenced, or even engineered, by divine beings whose motives remain unclear. This dovetails with Musk's concerns about artificial intelligence and the ethics of creating sentient life. Humanity, he warns, risks playing the role of the watchers described in the text, bestowing knowledge without fully understanding its consequences. Engaging with the Ethiopian Bible offers an opportunity to expand our spiritual and intellectual horizons, challenging dogma and embracing uncertainty. Ultimately, Musk views the Ethiopian Bible as more than an alternative religious text. It symbolizes suppressed knowledge, institutional resistance, and untapped potential in human understanding. Whether regarded as divine revelation or historical artifact, engaging with this text is essential for uncovering hidden truths about our past, our spirituality, and our place in the universe. Far from being a threat, Musk sees it as an invitation to explore new dimensions of thought, pushing boundaries and redefining what it means to seek truth in an ever-expanding cosmos.